trust TFL. You've been one of the most honest human beings about this situation, and you just want what is best for the people, which means you are sincere. So your word carries weight in my book. So if you trust them, I say, let's go. I think this is a very, very strong statement, and I think it deserves a video. Oil Field Reserve 81. This response is for you and for the LUNC community moving forward. And I think this is really important. Now, TFL's gone through teething problems, the same as our community. If anything, their situation has been far worse, considering their lead developer was jailed in a foreign country with fake passports and a ledger up his booty. It's not something every blockchain can come back from after it's just crashed. Okay, it speaks volumes. For a team to even attempt to take on such a task, it's honorable and it's selfless. So, do I trust TFL? The answer to that question deserves a pre-statement. Before DK got arrested, before this new development team took over, no, I did not trust TFL one bit. And my community will know that. If you're new here, now you know. I didn't trust them up until around a month ago, when the change happened. And instead of Jared handling things, we got this new person. And I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to leave links because I don't want them to get bombarded at this point. They have done nothing but ensure legacy infrastructure has been up, it's been running, even to the point of getting themes. Now, getting themes sounds silly, but for me, it speaks mountains, because I put myself in their position inside the meeting, speaking about how they are to move forward. LUNC community must have come up in that discussion. The endpoint infrastructure was stopped, and from what I understand, this is my own opinion from information that has been made available to myself, is that they shut down endpoint infrastructure because they were guided into it by a group of people who now run the endpoint infrastructure. Coincidence? I think not. I think TFL have been misled multiple times, and it's simply because we don't have anybody in the community who they probably even pay attention to, because the majority of it is just, you know, give me my money back, scammers, you're scammers, this, that, and the other, or when are you going to burn all of this? When are you going to burn all of that? It's not really something any professional team is ever going to give any acknowledgement to whatsoever. So we must take this professional approach. And this is why this tweet stood out to me, like, so much, because like I said, the honest response right now is, yes, I do trust them, because they could have just shut down all of Columbus 5 network, right? They could have just said, we're discontinuing the service. It costs us money to run the clusters, to do all of the different things. Our money could be better spent elsewhere. They're not doing that. They're continuing support. The only other two priorities that this chain has currently is Astro and Terra Swap. I mean, either or is fine at this point. The reason why I say that is because that is the only dApps on this chain that you need. You need it to do your swapping. You need it to carry out transactions. It's a brilliant middleman. It's what we need. It's the reason why we need an on and off ramp. But we can get onto that in another video. This is all about TFL currently at their current standing. I mean, they could rug pull the community tomorrow. My opinion would change, of course, but right now, I do trust them, and I trust them because they're doing everything right. We need free infrastructure so badly right now, for the simple fact that we just can't afford these things, right? And they're throwing us a huge bone as a community. And I do believe if we start to show we're a community that's willing to accept this new team, we're willing to not even work with them, right? Because what I believe is they see us as a community that are very independent, and it's not complex, from my understanding now, for us to create an update and have that put through onto GIT Hub as a PR. That PR is then checked, made sure it's all safe. If they want to merge it, they'll merge it. If they don't, they don't. And it's sort of one of those things where they are the guardian we actually need right now. And a lot of people have sat there and said, you know, we need a guardianship, we need this, and we won't be able to get a mobile app because we can't do this. We've got it all. We never thought we would be in a position where we would have continued support. If we start to make our blockchain flourish, if we start to create good liquidity loops, they'll become more interested in us. They'll become more interested in us on the basis that we're generating liquidity, we're generating a user base, we're generating more reach, and we're part of the cosmos. For all intent and purposes, we're sister chains at this point, and neither of us are budging. So it's at this point, I believe, we have to merge not even the blockchains, but start working as a coefficient that doesn't rub together and grind on one another, but embraces one another, right? We could become the gas for all different chains on the cosmos. All we need to do is develop it, propose it, create the IBCs, create the alliances, utilize whatever means you want, because there's so many different ways of doing it, and get this sort of thing rolling. Loads of people ask, you know, how will we burn through loads of coins, HGC? And it really is simple. You apply a tax, and then what do? You go, you build, you bring utility, and you build reasons for people to utilize things. If we look at the Greece banking crisis back, I think like 2015 or something like that, I could be wrong, don't quote me on the exact dates and times, but you know, that was all due to too much taxing, too much money being printed, too many people borrowing, and not enough coming back into the system. And you can't just tax everything and hope for the best. You can't just remove the taxes because everybody's going to be unhappy that nothing's getting burnt. And it's one of those ones where those questions that you keep asking, when this, when that, when this, when that, can all happen if we just embrace the legacy system that you all already embrace. Because currently what TFLC is a spend proposal for third-party wallet infrastructure. At some point, they're going to sit there and say to themselves, well, they're paying another community. We're not getting anything. We're not earning anything. The chain's just being pillaged and plundered. Why are we even wasting our time? And I don't want that to happen. With the current way everything's developed, the way the paid teams are, the heading of the chain is not good, and it can all stop. It can stop just by using the system that everybody uses on Luna, right? And we get our developers to send their PRs. Like, at this point for me, it's a no-brainer. I know for a lot of people it's going to be a hazy topic. It's going to be like, why the sudden change? But I think for a lot of you, this is going to explain the way that I'm feeling, the way that my head has been thinking about things. Because all of the evidence points towards TFL supports LUNC. They continue support, Astroport continue support for legacy infrastructure. Does this mean, right, that we don't need third-party wallets? Of course it doesn't. Of course we need third-party wallets. That's why we have Trust Wallet. That's why we have all of the different wallets that are out there. MetaMask, Pancake, all of the different wallets you could dream of. That's why we shouldn't be funding any third-party infrastructure. Would we fund Trust Wallet if they were like, yeah, you know, you pay us because we listed LUNC, because we support it? No, you wouldn't. So why pay a third-party provider for something a qualified, professional, certified, trusted team that is developing another chain that's identical to ours? Why would we not embrace this at this point? You know, the evidence there, it's quite substantial, and I think it's quite obvious. But like I said, do I trust TFL? And my simple answer is yes. And that's my own opinion, and I'm going to stick by it. And as always, you get the utmost honesty here on this channel, folks. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to let me know what you're doing this weekend in the comment section. And don't forget to let me know what you're drinking, because I need to know what kind of coffee I'm going to be getting. You know, suggest some sort of beans. I see a lot of you are coffee drinkers. I'm a bit of a coffee snob. What are the best coffee beans that you guys are buying? Where are you getting them from? Are there some sort of like, am I missing something? What am I missing? Let me know. Have a really nice weekend. I will catch you in the next one.